now, introducing the 50th episode of Crazy Random Happenstance. Here's your host, Chris.
Thank you, Random Voice. So guys, as the random announcer voice guy said, this is the 50th episode of Crazy Random Happenstance. It's crazy that I'm halfway through 100 episodes, and that is awesome. So I wanted to do something special since we're at the 50th episode, and I wanted to give you guys something a little bit different from what I did on the 25th episode. I wanted to show you guys a behind-the-scenes look of what goes on during the making of a Crazy Random Happenstance video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a making of video of Crazy Random Happenstance. Hello everyone. So, here I am in the computer area, me sitting here, and this is usually where all my videos start. I have a special Word document that I'm going to show you guys. It's actually called Partay, which is French for party. I can't show you guys too much because I don't want to spoil, but here I have the original philosophy of what Crazy Random Happenstance was. Movies, comics, video games, real-life events, parodies, just a bunch of stuff that I like to do. Here, as you can see, is the format of the show, which is recent. A video skit, which is kind of like my big elaborate videos. Video game-related video is usually week 2. Week 3 is segment week. Week 4 is chill time, and week 5 is in case of an extra week, just WTF another week. And I don't want to show you guys more than I have to because some of this spoils it, but it goes on to show my schedule for September, and it goes on to show my schedule for October, and that's really as far as I planned, because though the format has changed, Crazy Random Happenstance, I still want it to be random. So when I pick what I'm going to do for each month, I just randomly think of something and I write it down, and it's not until like the day I shoot that I actually write down my ideas and stuff like that. But I'll get into that right now. So right now I'm actually working on the video I'm going to do next week. So the idea that I have written down is Formspring Live, because that would be segment week. And on segment week I only have a couple of things. I have this new thing I haven't introduced yet, which I'm going to keep a secret. I have a day in the life of Chris, random, that I hear in. I don't want to have to bleep it. And I also have Formspring Live. So I've decided to do Formspring Live because I like to circulate through them, and I haven't done one of those in a while, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, at this point, I would actually start writing a script. If this was an episode that needed a script. But since this is not a scripted episode, Formspring Live is completely random. I just literally say what comes to mind when I read the question that Formspring asks me. So there's nothing required to write. But normally at this point, after I've picked my episode and I know what week I'm doing, I would sit down and I would start writing the script. And my scripts can be as long as I need them to be, and I might cut some material. I might actually write out dialogue in my script. I might just say what comes to mind, and just instead write kind of like little paragraphs that say, okay, now Jack Sparrow is going to make a comment about rum. And for the segments, usually I don't script anything, except for like a couple of them, but mainly I don't script them if I don't need them. A Day in the Life of Chris, for sure I don't script that. So that is pretty much the pre-production process, PPP. When I'm done writing the script or choosing the episode or whatever, I move on to production, and we will move on to production right now, live in person. Oh my god, the quality's changed. No, it hasn't. So, I'm using this camera. I'm using another camera because I want to show you guys the setup that I use when I have everything ready. So when the production process happens, a lot of things go into consideration. I have to think, where am I going to shoot for the video? It might be multiple locations, it might be one location. What props am I going to need? How many actors am I going to need? Is it just me? Do I need makeup? Do I need all that stuff? In the case of Formspring Live, I really don't need a lot of that. I'm the only actor. There's no props. There's no makeup involved. It's just whatever I have on usually that day. And I usually don't need anyone to film those episodes because I just film in front of my camera. I have this whole setup, and it's all manageable for me. But there have been some cases where I do need help, and usually the help I get is from Rebecca, who is actually right here, and she's actually going to help me for this video, or my sister Carolina, who sometimes acts with me, and Rebecca acts with me as well. And I have some ideas for future videos that actually have other actors coming in and stuff like that, and you've seen stuff like Hanging with Mike Pupo that has other people in it. But anyway, so I want to show you guys my setup. So this is the setup that I have. Since I'm filming here for Formspring Live, I usually have to set it up here in my bedroom. This is going to be the setting, because that's where Formspring Live usually is. I have my setup here only because my computer's right here, and I have access to the internet and Formspring Live. So some stuff going on here. This is the camera I use. I usually have the flip screen flipped here so I could see myself while I'm filming, so you guys can have an idea. So I can have an idea of what is going on. Becca taught me this technique, but she bought this lamp that I connect here to the side. We connect it ghetto-ly to our tripod, and then we turn on the lamp, and it gives us light. And that's how we get our lighting when it's dark, because without it, as you can see, it's really dark, and on camera it just doesn't show up pretty good. So yeah, this is my setup, and as you can see, it's a very tight shot because my door is here, so if someone opens it, they usually hit the tripod, and I usually have to do another take unless I have the door locked. But yeah, this is my setup, and I sometimes rehearse if I have scripts and stuff like that, but this is unscripted, so I'm actually not going to rehearse. So I'm gonna log into Formspring and have everything set up, and Rebecca is gonna be my helper. She's my crew today, and she's going to film me while I film my episode. So I'm gonna let Rebecca take it away. Hello everyone, and welcome to Formspring Live, where I, Chris, answer questions that Formspring asks me. Yeah. So the way the program works is that I sit here and I click the "Or we have some questions for you" segment. The way this works is that I click on the button that says "Or we have some questions for you" for people like me who don't really get a lot of questions, and I randomly, without even thinking, answer the questions that Formspring asks me. So, without further ado, let's go. So, for this part, post-production, this is after I have filmed my episode. Everything's done, I don't need to film anymore, anything like that, unless I decide I have to do a reshoot during this process. But this is when I start editing the video, and actually before I begin editing the video, there's a couple of things that I have to do, which I'm going to show you guys. So the first thing I do is, this is the camera that we use, and the camera is digital, so it doesn't use film, and instead it uses this, which is an SD card. So I get the SD card out from the video, and I stick it here into my printer, because my printer actually has an SD card reader. And then I get this cable here, this USB cable, and I run it all the way here to my computer, and then I'm able to upload it onto my video. So, onto my computer. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I open up Final Cut Express. That's the operating system or editing program that I use to cut these videos. So here's a basic look at what Final Cut Express looks like. the first thing I do, because I don't want to forget, is I go here and I right-click this, and I turn it into anamorphic. Anamorphic is widescreen. I shoot all my videos in widescreen, so I go here, I right-click this, and I click Item Properties, and then see I have it check mark, anamorphic. Sorry, it's a bit blurry, but then I click OK, and then it's all set to go. So I go to here to File, and I go to something called Log and Transfer. When I click that, it takes a few seconds, and this thing pops up. And here, this actually takes a while too, but eventually my SD card is read from this cable that's running to this thing right here. And all my video clips from the SD card will just start loading up right here. And all I do is I click one, and then I click this button right here that says Add Selection to Queue. And then this is my queue, and it gets the footage that's from the SD card, and it puts it right here into this little box. And we get our videos done, and that's where we get our clips so we can start editing them. So once that is done, I move on to the actual editing process, which is not that difficult of a thing to do for this particular episode, but sometimes it could be really excruciatingly long and hard and treacherous. But Formspring Live is a simple episode, so really there's not much to it, so this is more of a simple edit. Sometimes they can get really nitpicky and detailed. An example of this would probably be the video I did with Connect or something like that. I used a bunch of different clips. I had a fight scene at the end of that. I had to add in punching sound effects. I had to dub the gummy bear. So all these different things play into effect. But like I said, this is one of the simpler episodes. So let's get right to it. So here I have my file that I got. So I double click it, and over here I have two different, I kind of look like a zombie there, but I have two different video files. This is going to show me stuff that's down here in my timeline, but I have nothing in my timeline, so nothing's there. So all I have is this. So what do? I start playing, and I start getting the parts of the scene that I want. So I press the space bar, and the clip plays. Hello everyone, and welcome to Formspring Live, where I, Chris, answer questions that Formspring asks me. So I want the clip to end there. So what I do is I press the circle button, and it gives a little jab there. But as you can see, the clip began too early. So I start all the way from the beginning. I press play again, and I see I'm about to start talking. So I put back a couple of frames. Look really funny there. And I press the I button, and then it creates the clip I want. Hello everyone, and welcome to Formspring Live, where I, Chris, answer questions that Formspring asks me. So then I have the clip, I drag it down to the timeline. It always asks me to do that. And then here we have the clip. So as you can see, I have two different Chris's right here, because this is where I have my marker put in my timeline, and then here is where I'm manipulating this. So this video right here shows you whatever you have clicked over here if you have multiple things, and it lets you manipulate that. And then this is letting you manipulate what's here in your timeline. So as you can see, if I click this and if I start moving this around, I start moving around. But then if I click this over here, that starts moving around. See, I'm really happy here. That's pretty much what I do. I sit here and I just keep editing, and I edit until I have the video done. So I'm actually going to show you right now what happens when I have the video done, because with the magic of editing, I can cut all the way to when I am finished with the video. Whew, that was rough editing. So anyway, here I'm at the last part of my editing, as you can see, and I wanted to tell you guys about this funny little tradition that I do. Now, at the end of every episode of Crazy Random Happenstance, I always do the the title, the logo, with my character I did, a voice where I go, and it's something that I've only recorded once, and I'll tell you what happened. So I did a recording for the first episode ever, and I lost it, and I didn't want to try to recreate it because I thought it was so good. So what I do is I have a tradition of stealing the voice thing from the end of any random episode because I don't want to recreate it. So here I have Chris Goes to the Movies, which you guys remember. It was when I went to the movies and it was a lot of fun. So I go all the way here to the end of the video and I let it play. And then here I back it up a bit. See? So this is the beginning. I press the I button like I told you guys, and then here we go. And I have my stuff. So then I get that, and I drag it into my timeline, and then I do good old-fashioned copy and pasting. And there we go. I have it at the end of the episode. So when the episode ends, as you can see, it goes directly into it. And this is something I have done for every single episode. So really, this all comes from the very first episode of Crazy Random Happenstance. So every time you see Crazy Random Happenstance, you are technically seeing the ending to the very first episode, but it's gone through so many different episodes that you're seeing you're seeing every single episode of Crazy Random Happenstance when you watch one episode. So at this point, I am done editing. The video is completely edited here on the timeline. I have everything done. So I go here to File, and I scroll down to Export. I go to Using QuickTime Conversion, and I have a very specific setup that I do that Beck and I have learned. So I'm going to call this episode Form Spring, and then I will say September of 2011. So then I know that it's from this month. Then I click Options. This pops up. I go to Size, and I want it to be in high definition, so I choose 720p, because I think it's a pretty good high definition point. I click OK. Everything's all set. I have Prepare for Internet Streaming, Fast Start. Sound is all good, so then I click OK. And then everything here is set up. I have it saved to... Oh, wait, no. Then I go down here to... where is it? Oh, I go all the way down to Video Files. And then I go here to Crazy Random Stuff. That's what I have it called. And then I click Save. And now begins the very boring and slow process of rendering. Now you see here it says less than a minute. Now it says about a minute. It's going to keep getting higher. 2 minutes, it keeps going on and on and on. And I have to wait for this bar to go from here all the way to there. And then the video is finished. And the video is ready to be posted on YouTube. We are in the final point. I've already done pre-production, I've done production, I've done post-production. Now we're in the YouTube process. Now, this is the only part I can't actually show you guys, and the only reason I can't show you this is because tonight I'm not going to upload this video. This video is for next week, so I can't post it yet. But I want to tell you what happens, what I go through. So the very first thing I do is, most of you know how YouTube works. You click upload and you put your video. And then I had to pick a video name. Now, for Formspring Live, this is a segment, so I already have a name. It's just Formspring Live, September 2011 edition, and I just have it up there, and then that's all I have to do. But if you guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but at the end of every single video I do here on Crazy Random Happenstance, I put an exclamation point. Like, seriously, check at the title of this video. I put an exclamation point at every single title of all my videos, and I don't know how I came about doing it. I think I wanted to generate excitement at the beginning, so I would always put it on there as if I'm saying, "Hey guys!" Just not as charming or whatever. But what happened was it just became a tradition. I kept putting these exclamation points at the end of every single video, and I noticed it, and I'm like, you know what, let me just keep going. Like, I've been doing this for so long, it's a tradition, it's gonna happen. Then I type in the description, I do all that good stuff, it starts uploading, and then the video is just up. The video's done. And I put it out to the masses, and I wait and see what you guys say, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I sit there silently, like Batman. I sit like Batman, like this, just shrouded in darkness, and I wait. Sometimes I put on my Spider-Man costume, which you guys have seen more times than you should. So anyway, I wanted to end this video with thanking some very important people who motivate me to keep going. And, you know, Rebecca is included, obviously, and my family. But I'm really talking about you guys, the viewers. Because if you guys don't watch my videos, there's no reason for me to make them. And you guys watch my videos, and you leave comments, and you make me feel so appreciated to make these videos. Because it's so nice for me to take a break from my everyday life, just all the stuff that's going on in my life, and stop and just make a video, like a fun YouTube video that I try to make people laugh, or I try to inform people, you know, with reviews and stuff like that, and I just try to have fun. I post it up there, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and you guys leave me such wonderful comments, and it makes me so happy for it. All these 50 videos I've done, they're all for you guys. They really are. I mean, I enjoy making them, but they're for you. And as long as you keep watching, I will keep making them. So we got 50 down. They're great. Let's move on to the next 50. And let's make it to Crazy Random Happenstance episode 100. And I promise you, it is going to be a blast. So guys, from the bottom of my heart, and from everyone who's ever helped me here at Crazy Random Happenstance, thank you very much for watching. And I hope you guys continue to watch, and I hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look of what I do to make these videos happen. And I will see you guys next week. And yes, I'm going to do it. Fish tacos. They're disgusting. Well, I guess if you imagine the head poking out of a taco shell, that's pretty gross. Cue the laugh!